So maybe that's what we'll end up with. I mean, maybe California will get a dharmic person too for a governor. Because they do have a very population in California, so it would be realistic for them to maybe get a dharmic, either a Hindu or a Buddhist or someone that's just really open to that kind of thinking. Maybe comes from a family that maybe there's Hindus in it or Buddhists or something like that. But normally I would expect someone like J.D. Vance to win the election for president. And even myself, I guess I'd vote for him. I mean, he's as good as you can get. I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like a Hindu would be running, that they would win. Not with J.D. Vance. But it's possible that we may get a dharmic president, somebody that's in Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, either Hinduism or Buddhism or some other similar. I mean, I have to be very careful how they express that religion. But they are very congenial people, and they don't push their religion, so maybe they'll be able to pull it off. I mean, we've got that woman, what's her name, Tulsi Gabbard? I think she's in Hawaii or something. But the thing is, in Hawaii, there's a lot of Asian people. And she was a Democrat, and she switched parties because she just saw through what was going on. And I think she became a Republican. I know at one point she was like saying, this is no good what they're doing. And she began kind of criticizing the Democrats. And I guess she switched to the Republican Party. And so yeah, there are some Democrat Hindus. And I don't think they'll, if they were to run, I don't think they would go very far. But the Republican Hindus, they might even do it. I mean, me knowing about the Christians I like or whatever, or what they like, from a Christian perspective, I can't see it happening. But maybe not everybody's Christian. And maybe some Democrats would vote for them. Maybe they'd say, hey, they're a Hindu. Maybe they'll be a little bit more moderate. And they might vote for him. Some of the people that maybe voted Democrat in the past, they might vote for these Hindu or Buddhist or whatever Republicans. And they might say, yeah, there's a little bit of Democrat mixed in there. They're open-minded and they're a little bit different than the Christian candidates that are running, like Trump. And because a lot of people are turned off by this religion, like Christian religion, especially younger people. There's a lot of people that have left the church in this country, so there might be room for a dharmic person to come in. It's like, it could happen and it couldn't. It's like, if somebody were to ask me 5 years ago and say, yeah, a Hindu's gonna get office, I would say, that doesn't sound likely. But maybe it is. Could be possible. A lot of people have left the church. There's been a lot of, some churches have come down in population to the point where it's half of what it used to be. And some churches have had to close. And even in the Bible Belt, there's a lot of churches that have closed. So maybe some of these people are just like tired of the dogmas and there's a lot of people that know the Bible. They realize, yeah, the Bible's been changed by Rome, and they're not trusting everything like they used to years ago. And maybe they know that, hey, the Hinduism's been around for 10,000 years, and they don't push their religion on us. They're not going to try to convert us. There's no way they're going to try to convert us. And so people feel safe having them as leaders. They don't feel threatened by them. Whereas the Muslims, they feel kind of threatened by them. The Hindus, they kind of like, yeah, we've never had trouble from the Hindus. They're pretty congenial. They're pretty average people. They don't stand out. The only way they stand out is that they're really well educated and they seem to know what they're doing, and they don't get involved in controversial stuff. So maybe they'll accept them. There's a lot of Catholics that have gone to the New Age or the Hindu or Buddhist ideology, so maybe they will get just enough to get in. Okay, here's where we turn. But there's a possibility that California could have a dharmic leader or even the next president, and he won't get in power until a year later or 6 months after Trump's term ends. So in other words, I don't know if they just start their term for 4 years after he leaves, or if they only get 3 years. Let's say that Trump stays in an extra year. Do they just put it to a whole year? And then they start the next 4-year term from there? Or do they take it off and then have another election? And then that term is 3 years long. I don't know what the laws are. I don't know how that works. But I guess if you have a national emergency, delay the elections. And of course the Democrats will be screaming bloody murder if that happens. But after 2029, I think things are going to get a lot better. There's going to be a noticeable change. But it sounds like Trump's going to be stuck with he's going to have to fix. He's going to have to address. In other words, it's not going to be kind of like, I'm leaving, and I'm going to leave you with a mess. My patient's got a dirty diaper, and they've got it all over the bed, and I'm going to clock out. Well, that's not going to happen. He's going to stay, and he's going to change the diaper. Clean up the bed. And then when he's done, this other leader can come in and pick up the presidency. Okay. And this is where we turn. But it's going to be scary for a lot of people. The markets are probably going to be jittery. That's north. We want to go south. Right, and then the other one. I think it goes with the highway for a while. South? Yeah, this goes south, and then it becomes 16 when you go the other way. It runs into 16. Okay, I was thinking we got off here, we don't. It's the next road. So we're going a little bit. So yeah, this country's going to be a little worried towards the end of Trump's. It's not going to be a comfortable place to be near the end of Trump's administration. This guy is right at my... Minnesota.